that's their number one guy, and he showed why, and their offense was tremendous today. So hopefully we'll do something to shut them down tomorrow, and because I felt like our offense, we had good at-bats all day. We had hard contact. I think we struck out 3 times, so I was proud of the offense. We just, obviously our pitchers have picked us up so big all year. It's just one bad one, so that's the way it goes.
Questions, just raise your hand and I'll point you out or call you out in a second.
Chip, when it came to Owen, did it just look like he didn't have his best stuff today? And
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. I mean, Brian, I think you're exactly right. I think he was center cut a lot. It was a little bit reminiscent of Globe Life when he first started. His stuff wasn't bad. It's just the location. And these are, you look at up and down their lineup. They're veteran guys who know how to hit. They got short swings. They're going to take advantage of bad locations. So yeah, I think the first batter getting hit by the cutter in, I think that threw him off a little bit too.
And with him, but also other pitchers, you always shift a lot, but it seemed like Carolina was able to hit away from the shift.
Yeah, they
pretty
did a
well.
good job.
Is that just the nature of the beast when you go with the shift?
Yes, exactly. And they like I said, when you have short swings like they do, especially with 2 strikes, and you leave the ball up, you can guide the ball where you want to. If we make better pitches, probably it's harder for them to do that.
What was the gist of your message to the guys out on the field after the game?
Just flush it, and move on. It's, we're in a single elimination now. We've been in that in the Big 12 tournament. We just got to play our best game tomorrow, and it's part of the game. I mean, like I said, it's a 3-game series, and obviously we don't like the score. It doesn't feel good, 18-2, but it's just 1 loss.
Tommy, and then Kip.
Bases loaded, and they get out of it with a double play there.
Right.
Even the second inning just sort of took the wind out of your sails a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Like I said, we kept having the good at bats. We just weren't, obviously not a lot of grass was being hit by it. They were caught. But yeah, I hold up the runner at third with 1 out with our top of the order coming up, and Brendan gets a little reachy and hits the double play. But again, they made the play. That's the thing you got to give them credit. They made the double play. They turned it beautifully, and it's a fast runner going down the line. So just the way the game went.
Kip.
Chip, in looking back, you had a left-hander warming in the bullpen, 2 left-handers coming up, and you opted to stay with right-hander that moment.
Right.
Hit a batter, and the 2-run single that really broke it over.
Yeah, I mean, we the right-left thing isn't really a big deal for us. Some of our righties get lefties better if you look at the splits. So that's he's going. Kevin makes those decisions. We talk about it, but it's his decision. He knows what the guy has, what the hitter's weakness is, and I think he just felt like that was a good matchup. And again, tip your cap, they hit the ball.
Grace, then Brian.
Gauren, how do you guys internalize this message from Coach to flush it and then move on to tomorrow?
Yeah, I think you just get back to the hotel, you get some fluids in you, a good meal, and get in bed early, and just that's all you can do right now, and just hope everyone can focus up for tomorrow morning.
Right.
Well, Gauren, this is, I think, 11 postseason games that you've been in the tournament. How do you just tap into the experience, even though before this year there hadn't been a lot of wins, just for the team in general?
Yeah, you can't put too much importance on one game. I've learned it was just a baseball game today, and there's another baseball game tomorrow, and obviously our back's against the wall, but yeah, we just got to flush it and get to tomorrow.
For both, Aaron Walton almost had a great catch in the second inning.
Right.
Then he did have 2 great catches later in the inning. Can you just sort of describe what you saw or what you made of those plays?
Well, just great effort, and he's a fantastic defender, a fantastic baseball player, and it doesn't matter what the score is, whether it's early or late. He's going to go 120%. He's going to run through that wall to get a ball. So we know he's capable of making those plays all the time. It's part of the reason why I got him out of the game. He started to cramp up, and I didn't want him to do anything to endanger him for tomorrow.
Gauren, what do you think of those plays?
I mean, anytime a ball's hitting the air to center field, I feel like we have a pretty good chance it's being caught with him out there. I mean, I credit it to his effort in BP. He's making those plays in BP. I don't know if anyone sees that, but he puts in a lot of work when no one's watching, and we're lucky to have him out there in center.
On the far right over here, man, Adam.
Chip, what did you make of the way, I'm sorry if you've already been asked this, I scurried in here late, but what did you make of the way UNC was seeing Owen early on? It seemed like they were obviously on him from the get-go. Did you feel like they were picking him up pretty well?
Yeah, very well, 100%. I said it earlier, I also think his location wasn't very good today. He's had some of these games where he'll He'll center cut some balls, and these are two good hitters. They're veteran guys and have been in college a long time, and really good swing. So, again, we'll tip our cap to them, but we have to do a better job of location.
Front row, Tommy.
Maybe an excuse, but did you feel like the heat and the humidity was a factor? You mentioned cramping on.
Yeah, I don't want to say that because it's just an excuse. We just played in Houston 3 weeks ago, and it was warmer. It was turf all over the field. For 3 days, right? What did you say, Gauren?
Yeah.
I think sometimes too there's some anxiety, to be frank with you, and stress that comes along with being one of the last 16 teams. And I think that, even in our pregame, you could see some guys perspiring more than they usually do. So we have to do a better job tomorrow morning of getting ourselves and figuring out maybe backing off a little bit in BP and wearing something different so we don't get so hot. So that's on me a little bit.
Last couple, if there are, they're in the second row. Go ahead.
Yeah, did you remove Hilker from the game because he was dehydrated at that point, or was he coming out?
Well, how'd you know he's dehydrated? No, I always, that was a big thing when I was in pro ball. We used to have guys that would vomit, and I didn't want anybody to pull a muscle or anything like that. So that's part of it. The other part of it is he's available tomorrow. He's available on Sunday. Once we get behind like that, we're gonna run some different guys out there and try to save some guys.
Sure. You guys actually had the most hits against Knapp that he's given up all season. Gauren, what did you think of just the overall approach, the at-bats that guys had?
Yeah, I thought we had the first couple innings felt outstanding. I think if we just credit that to the staff and the plan we put together for him. Obviously, we knew he was one of the best pitchers in the country, and for the right reasons. And he's got good stuff up there. But I was excited to see those at bats, and they were really contagious early on. It felt like we went down 5-1. It didn't feel like we were quite out of it yet. But yeah, I just credit that to the plan we put together for him.
Last one, Grace.
Chip, how did you make some intentional pitching decisions, especially near the end, to get your guys set up for tomorrow?
Yeah, unfortunately, some of the guys that had to pitch at the end have not pitched a lot of innings lately, and so it's tough for them. We talk about on Tuesdays, do they see some hitters? But I'm glad we did because we were able to use them, and they're not at their best right now, to be frank with you. So it's the back end of our bullpen, but I credit like Eric Orloff. He's been here for 4 years. He's been here since I got here, and he gave it everything he had, and he sucked it up so we could have other guys available for today. So I thank those guys for that.
All right, guys, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
See you tomorrow.
Okay.